Hello there, Gemini. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast for the week of June 10th through the 16th. I have gone ahead and cleared your cards for this spread. I'm just putting the final shuffle on them right now. What you guys need to know is that this is a general reading, which means that not everything I see will apply to every single Gemini who watches this video. For more information, you may want to watch your rising sign or your moon sign. And if you have some specific questions that you would like to have answers to, you may want to consider a private reading. You can find out information about all my readings on my website, which is www.amista.info. Once you're there, you can see all my contact information, get a hold of me, and we can get you taken care of pretty quickly. Let's see what's coming up for you this week, Geminis. All right, my dears, let's take a peek. First thing that we have coming up talks to me about your environment, and your environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. Looks like you are in a different environment than usual this week. This may be that you're working in a different environment. It could be that your home is in a different environment. Maybe you've actually moved home. Maybe you're on vacation. But main theme is that your environment is different geographically than what it has been, or than what's normal. Now, the next thing that comes up talks to me about your subconscious leanings. When I'm looking at subconscious leanings for you here, Geminis, what I'm seeing is that there is some kind of heartbreaking situation that you have been involved in or on the fringes of, and your subconscious is really working on, okay, how do I change this situation? How do I make things better? And if not, how do I make things better? Then how do I move past this situation? How do I let it go? So your subconscious is working on getting through a heartbreaking situation. Next thing that we have coming up talks to me about your learning style and also your communication style. So when I look at learning style, I do see that the things that you're learning this week, you're being pretty serious and pretty focused on. Some of you may be going through orientation for new jobs. Others of you may be taking some kind of courses or some kind of classes. But whatever it is that you're learning, looks to me like you're taking it pretty seriously. Looking at communication style for the week, what do we have going on here? I think that you guys are a little bit confused in what you want to communicate to some of the people who are in your sphere of influence. And for other people in your sphere of influence, you were just basically trying to communicate the bright side, the best sides of things. You're trying to highlight what are the really good parts of anything that you're trying to, any ideas that you're trying to convey to those other people in your sphere of influence. Okay. So some of your communication is kind of confusing because you're not really sure what you're trying to say. And for others, that you are talking to, you are very clear and you're making sure that you're highlighting all the positives as you communicate. Now, next thing I'm looking at talks to me about work. And so work for me is two things. It's that way that you make a living, but it is also that work that you do to improve your own inner character or integrity. So as far as making a living, it looks like you're relying highly, Gemini, on your own intuition and your own psychic abilities. This may be a week when you don't have a lot of oversight. People aren't telling you so much what to do, or you've been given a lot of free rein. And so you are handling things, and you're handling things not just based on logic, but based on that gut or that psychic insight. All right. For some of you, your work this week may be that you're getting some work as psychic, doing psychic readings, that type of thing. Some of you who do it on the side, you just could have a client show up this week or multiple clients show up this week. For others of you, this could be talking about your full-time work. But for those of you that it's not talking about that, then you are definitely following your gut and your instincts when it comes to work. Now, as far as inner work, what do we have going on there? Personality, which is being grown or expanded right now. It looks, Gemini, is this you or is this someone else? Looks like you're dealing with somebody who has decided that they do not want to communicate with you right now. And so you are figuring out how to do whatever you need to do without their input. So basically coping with somebody who is not communicating at all with you during this week. Things that you stand for that come up during the week, Gemini. Okay, so it looks to me like you had a situation in your life where, wait a second, is this them or is this somebody else? Somebody else. Okay. So you're actually standing up for another person. I was about to go and say it's you, but it's not. You're standing up for somebody else who is someone that tends to like and be interested in and really drawn into things when they're new and exciting, and the glitter is still on them. And then as they become more ho hum and everyday, they start to take those things for granted and they don't pay as much attention to those. And then they focus on the next new and exciting thing. Sometimes that is relationships, sometimes that is work projects, sometimes that's hobbies. So you're defending somebody who has decided that, the new has worn off of something and they're on to something else. So you've stood up for that person. Now, how other people perceive you, they see you as somebody who has not only good judgment, they see you as somebody with authority. They see you as somebody who can straighten things out and straighten people out. Hmm. Some of you are policemen and some of you are judges, and that's why. But not all of you are actually literally in those types of positions. That is how people view you, though, as having authority to really crack the whip over somebody and make them do what they need to do. All right. So next thing we're looking at is the pivotal energy of the week. The pivotal energy is the energy around which things start to really change and turn. And so, what we've got coming up here is it looks like your self esteem has taken quite a bit of a hit. And so, when that has taken quite a bit of a hit, then things around you start to happen. First of all, um, you are interacting with someone as you're dealing with this lower self esteem than usual. You are interacting with somebody who does have authority. Um, for some of you, this is a judge. Not for all of you, though. But you are interacting with somebody who has a lot of authority. And I think that part of the self esteem issue may be that this person doesn't see you as how you used to see you with more self esteem. And so that's been kind of wearing on you. But this person really doesn't come up the way he comes out. He doesn't come out as necessarily a bad person. And yes, for most of you, it will be a he. He comes out as somebody who is very strict. He has high expectations, though. And as long as you live up to those expectations, everything will be fine. If you're not living up to his expectations, he will let you know. Okay. But he is a good person to have in your corner. If you're doing, if you're getting along well with him, he's going to be somebody that does not throw you under the bus. He's going to be a good friend to have. So, dealing with low self esteem and also dealing with somebody who has a lot of authority at the same time, and that can be a little bit stressful. Um, I do feel like this is leading to some unhappiness. Low self-esteem is always going to lead to unhappiness, every time I've seen it anyway. But dealing with an authority figure at the same time, I really feel like that is causing some stress on you, and it's more stress than usual because of the low self-esteem, because you're so worried about what this other person will be thinking about you. And then ultimately, what we have coming up in this life cycle is there's somebody that you wanted to collaborate with, or maybe you had planned to collaborate with, and there is no collaboration with this person. And I really think that this person is probably your authority figure that we were talking about before. Like you were hoping to be able to work together with this person, but the way it turns out, it just doesn't work out. I don't feel like there's anything judgmental going on here, Gemini. I don't feel like it's this person judging you. I do feel like there are scheduling issues going on with this person. And so, because of scheduling issues, it gets to be really hard to figure out when you guys are actually going to collaborate. And so, you end up just taking on the whole project by yourself. Okay. So that's what I've got coming up for you, Geminis. I hope that this makes sense to you and that this is helpful to you and that you have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for stopping by, for hanging out, for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. I do appreciate all of that support. Those of you who would like a private reading, you know how to do that. Just check out my website and get a hold of me. My website's www.amista.info. INFO. Once you get a hold of me, we can usually get you scheduled pretty quickly. Everyone have a fantastic week. Peace out.